Hey guys, Mark here from Pondworks and Brisbane Goldfish Specialist. I'm coming to you live from our fish room here. Just wanted to have a little bit of discussion about filtration. Now, not so much related around ponds, but related around aquariums. So one of the big things it's been in the marketplace for a very long time, however they've just been pretty much reinvented recently, is the fluidized bed filters. Now there's a couple of them out there in the market. One is the Ziss Aqua, which you can see up here behind me, working away, and this is an air-driven fluidized bed filter. Now I first bought these in probably a couple of months ago, and I've been running them, had a pretty high stock loading on them and sort of test them out, and I've got to say I'm quite happy with their performance. Okay, so we had the Ziss Aqua originally, and we were looking at filling a few more tanks up. We run pretty high stock loading here in a lot of our tanks, and certainly our grow out areas. So we really needed a way to cost effectively boost that filtration capacity in our tanks, and we've come across these. These are the Qanvee. Now there is two sizes of these available. There's the LH600 model, which I'm holding here, and also a smaller one, LH300. Haven't tried the smaller one, but look, so far for what these are, for a Chinese knockoff of a Korean product, look, this is very good. The suction caps, the quality of the suction caps with the Ziss product certainly appear to be very good. And there's a few bits and pieces. The filter sponge and the Qanvee is a lot finer than what the Ziss Aqua is, so you're going to sort of find yourself cleaning that pre-filter sponge a little bit more frequently than what you will with the Ziss Aqua. I tend to prefer the coarser sponges, just allows for a bit more water flow and sort of a few more of a chance of the particles being broken up by this media. Now the media itself, I don't know how well you're going to see this, but basically, so the media itself is a neutrally buoyant plastic tube. Now there's numerous profiles inside this that allow extra surface area, and the big bonus of these fluidized bed filters is as the media is travelling and they're colliding together, it's shaking off all the old bacteria. The old bacteria falls off and allows somewhere for the new bacteria to colonise or take over. So fluidized bed filters are probably amongst one of the most efficient forms of biological filtration that's available. They do work very effectively in helping reduce your ammonia and nitrate levels once you're established. Now they don't happen overnight. It's like everything. The nitrogen cycle takes 4 to 6 weeks to complete, and once again, this is something that's going to take quite a few weeks for that bacteria to establish. So if you're setting up a brand new tank, don't just put it in and think it's the be all to end all, because it's not. Okay, those naturally occurring bacteria have got to colonise it. In an already established fish tank, to be adding it in, it should colonise a lot quicker, and certainly seem to see the results in the first couple of weeks. Now, the Ziss Aqua ones, when I first installed them, there was probably a couple of days before I saw the media start to tumble. These Qanvee brand ones, the media is obviously a little bit lighter, or maybe it's a little bit more neutrally buoyant, and the media will start spinning virtually instantaneously. So yeah, that's sort of, yeah, obviously a few different weight differences there. But we're going to install this one in one of our grow out tanks. I'm going to show you one of our grow out tanks that had one installed about a week ago, and the water was pretty cloudy. We've now got nice clear water in that tank, and I've got a tank beside, a bit lower loading, but it's also quite cloudy. We're going to install that now. I'm going to show you the difference and just how quickly it cleans this tank up. Okay guys, so here we are at the fish room. Now this was the tank that we first started it in last week. This is full of lemon comets, and you can see there's still a lot there yet to colour up, and we can see in the corner there's our Qanvee brand fluidized bed filter bubbling away and working quite efficiently. Now this tank was as cloudy as this tank full of shabunkins. So in the space of a week, we actually had water clarity. And I didn't clean filter sponges or anything like of the sorts. Basically, a lot of the time these tanks go cloudy because the filter sponges are clogged, and they do need a bit of cleaning. But anyway, let's get this fluidized bed filter set up in this tank, and let's see how it goes. Okay, so something I should probably mention too, the Ziss Aqua has already got a stem with the and comes supplied complete with the airline. The Qanvee brand doesn't include that stem to fit your airline on, nor does it include any airline tube. So I've got an airline tube here. They do have this nice little guide up the top that you can feed it through, and look at the fitting down on the end here. It's a little bit blunt. It doesn't have a real good barb, so getting your airline over it can be a little bit on the tricky side. So a little bit of perseverance pays off there, but yeah, maybe they might change that in future models. So there's sort of one disadvantage, I suppose, and this is one of the things you probably really don't need to do, but of course as soon as you take that lid off, we're still attached by that airline, so it does sort of make things for maintenance a little bit hard. There is a plate in here which actually comes out on the inside and does make life a little bit difficult if you're going to service that area of the filter. But anyway, let's get it in and going, and let's see how it goes. Alright, so we've got our fluidized bed moving there. There's still some media sitting up the top that's not actually moving, and that will start to move as the bacteria colonises. So let's check back on it in a few days' time and have a look and see how it's all going. Alright, so a little bit of an update. We're 2 weeks in, and on our Qanvee, or Qanvee, however you like to pronounce it, fluidized bed filter, and you can see the clarity of the water in this tank now. There are actually a few more fish that have been added to this tank as well, so our stock loading is sort of a little bit higher, but we've now got water clarity where we can see to the back of the glass, so very similar to this one here. Lighting's a little bit different, yeah, slightly different lighting above the tanks, but anyway, that gives you a real good idea. So that's only 2 weeks, and obviously and I haven't cleaned the filters or anything of the sort. That's just the biological activity starting to grow in on that mutually buoyant media. So certainly doing quite a good job. Alright, so to sum up on these Qanvee fluidized bed filters, I'm really impressed with them. Good bang for your buck. Great in a situation of high stock loading, and probably just as good in a low stock loading as well. But we're seeing some remarkable results with them. Water is being maintained. It's such a better result than what we've had previously, just running sponge filters and under gravels. So we can really sort of load tanks up. The Ziss Aqua is still also, a fantastic filter as well. But as far as bang for your buck goes, yeah, these Qanvee filters are fantastic and do a great job. Okay, so if you're interested in some of our quality goldfish from Brisbane Goldfish Specialists here, or you're looking at having a fish pond built, by all means get in touch and let's see what we can do for you. That's it for us, guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Do enjoy. See you all soon. Cheers.